Hi, graphic designers. How's it going? It's Erica here, and I am going to do a quick demo for you of the assignment. I just want to make sure that I'm clear on what I'm expecting and show you some little tricks and ways to do things, just to kind of guide you through it. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. This is week 3 assignment. It's Learning from the Past, part 1. So basically what we're going to be doing is looking at some art from past graphic designers and finding inspiration on that. So the first part is to create the mood board and the poster. So you're going to download the file, which has the names of the different artists that you get to choose from. And also it has the text of what has to be on your poster. So here are the list of the artists. I chose Saul Bass. And our poster, which we'll get to later, will have to include all of the text that's on the other file that you will need. Let's go ahead and jump in. Well, first, of course, we need to do our research, right? We have to make sure that we spend some time looking back at this artist's work, what type of elements he or she used, what type of principles did they use, and what type of art that inspires us in our work, and what we want to have on our mood board. Basically, the mood board is just going to contain all the different pieces that you want to use for your inspiration. So we have Lester Beale. That's who I chose, sorry. I went through and found some great articles about this graphic designer, some of the work, and also, see, I actually looked up elements because I really wanted to see how it was described, his work was described, and what type of elements I would like to include in my piece. So I, of course, spent some time doing some research on the artist himself and was able to gather some inspiration. There he is there with the little lamb. Cute, right? All right, so his stuff is really quite strong as far as the contrast and colors used. This is going to be one of the pieces. So what we're going to do is go into Illustrator. Let me do a new share, make sure everybody can see what I have going on here. I started a new file, and of course, I reference the directions. Always go back and reference those directions. Make sure that you're following them, guys. The size of the document must be the 11 by 17, which is the standard size for a poster. So this is where I started off, 11 by 17 page. I'm going to come into my inspiration pieces and copy some of those in. So I'm going to come, I don't need to show you me going back and forth and so forth. But don't forget that you need to also keep your references. So I'm going to add this one in, which I really like. Or is another one that I really liked. I think it was from the other. Oopsie, don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to move this guy over here. Maybe add this one in. I think I want to go kind of stick with this color scheme. Maybe adding in one other. But I really like how he uses the black and white on top of the colors. And then this piece also here is also another one. I kind of like the color of the yellow that's there and the blue, and how he was able to break the center line with the graphic. Some gestalt there with the negative enclosure. So once you just kind of have a few pieces laid out, of course you want to lay them out in a aesthetic way so they kind of look appealing. I think I might turn some of these, rotate some of them, because I just kind of like how that feels. I'm going to put this one down here a bit because these two kind of complement each other a little bit more. And I'm kind of going to go for a little bit more of that, that look of that one. But I just want to include this one as well. Also, what else? Going back again to our page, our assignment page, always going back and referencing that, making sure that I include everything. You can never check your work enough. I want to make sure that you guys are also including the swatches. That's another thing that needs to also be on your mood board. We need to have the color scheme examples, the type examples, imagery examples, and created by the designer. So right now we have our images that are created by the designer. So now we need to kind of have a color swatch going on. And this is a little bit too rotated. I can't see all that, but I'm not going to try to get into too much of the details because I will be here all day if I, and I want to make sure that this is a quick short video for you guys to be able to reference because I'd rather you spend your time in your projects working. So I see that it uses a lot of the fonts that are, I like the bold fonts that I used up in this upper left here. So I'm going to add in maybe his name, or I'll just type in text for now. Another good thing to maybe add in, if you're putting in the text too, you can also kind of add in kind of what some of the additional quotes maybe from your references. So that's what I'm going to do. I think that would be helpful for me as I use this as a mood board. So I just went back to that page and I selected some text that kind of describes his style and what he likes. Fascinated by the flexibility of the medium whose combinations, anyways, well, I won't read it all, but just to give you an idea, but this font does not really replicate what I think up here, this Power of Defense does. So I'm going to, that looks kind of like an impact. I have this thing in my way. So let's just go ahead and pick a nice bold font. Even that one could work. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. And of course, I do not want my text cut off. Never want to leave your sentences hanging, right? So let's just go ahead and make it a little smaller. See, 30 will be just the right size. Okay. Then I'm going to add a little bit more. Just another font. You know, one of the font rules is kind of used. It's good to have two fonts, as you can see in some of his stuff. Let me just copy a sentence over here. That is going to be inspirational for when I go to make my actual board itself. Okay, that looks like a good one that's referenced. So if you can see how he kind of used a combination of fonts. Here's one with serif and non-serif. I think that usually is a good rule of thumb to be able to combine more than one font. So I'm going to maybe put this up here because I really like this, what's going on here. Let me just go ahead and get rid of that one. There's so many things in my way that you guys can't even see because of the, so all right, I'll just add that. And I want to, I want that. I'm going to just get rid of him because I don't like him there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use a combination of another I'm going to kind of add this over to the side maybe and bring this guy up. And of course, you don't want to overlap too much unless that's part of the style of theirs. You know, it could very well be, but always make sure that your audience, who is going to be me, can read it, okay? Want to make sure that we can read stuff. I'm going to throw this guy to the back because I like these other ones a little bit more. All right, so page 3 will have the references on it. And of course, we want to make sure that nothing's kind of not able to be read. Always want to make sure that you can read everything, guys. All right, so we'll just drop that there. All right, and so now we also need to do the colors, right? So we want to make sure that we include our color scheme. And I'm going to do a color scheme with these colors here. So I'm going to make a few boxes, or actually, you know, I'm going to do some stripes because he really loves those stripes there. And let's do 4 stripes. Of course, I'm not going to leave them over top of his work. We want the work, but I think it's enough in the background that you're able to see through it. I will toss all those guys to the back. And I want to kind of in the center because he does a lot of work through the center. So black is going to be one of the colors I'm going to use. So I'm going to keep that one. This one is going to be a red. You can always do your color picker if you like, so you get the exact color. Good. I don't know if I really want to do where's my color picker? I think I want to have this blue down here. It's almost like a purplish kind of indigo, right? Or indigo, purpley. And then last one, I'm going to make it the yellow because I like that yellow. I think it's, 2 colors are always great to use, but I find that having 1 extra color to really help things pop helps your work go a long way. So basic, easy enough, guys. Of course, I could spend more time to this, adding a few more elements, switching up the font a little bit, you know, adding more contrast. Maybe I want to take all these and bring them down and actually have the text go within the lines. You know, the possibilities are endless. I kind of like it behind the artwork. But again, this is just an idea board. This is just kind of allows you to determine what type of things you want to have in your poster. So now that that is done, what you're going to do is you're going to add another artboard. So we have come over here to the side and add another artboard. This will add the exact same size page to your project. So this is going to be the poster itself. At this point, what you need to do is go and, let's see, let me just double check and reference the assignment because they want certain details in there. So yes, we have our poster size and you want to try to find some images for inspiration. So I went, let me go ahead and switch over to what I'm looking at. So these are 4 questions actually, that are good to consider while you are creating your work and how to get kind of your creative juices flowing and some inspiration. So what colors are being used, what sort of elements and alignments are being used. And, you know, we've been talking about this in the discussions, and your last assignment, you wrote a great amount about your work. So, you know, these are some things to think about, always those elements and those principles, right? Can't get enough of it. So really think about those as you're looking at the work. So now on the second part, in our mood board, of course, it's the same size, the poster size. We have our mood board done. The designers, oh, that's what I forgot to put. Look, see, I already caught an error. I need to make sure that I have the designer's name on the board itself. And our designer's name, Lester Biel. So I want to make sure that I include that. Did anybody else catch that I didn't do it? No? Okay. Let's go back to our assignment here. Go back to Illustrator. And I need to make sure that I include, I thought I was missing something. Glad I caught that. I'm glad I went back and double checked. Can never do that enough, guys. All right, so I'm gonna give him a really cool font too. I really like that. Of course, if you need more fonts, guys, always, you can look at the announcements. There's some there, and also a student put on the chat one as well, depending on which class you're in. If you find, guys, something cool, make sure that you add it to the chat, because that's a great place for us to all share. And I'm going to switch out that color because I'm going to switch it up a bit, right? All right. Now I'm going to need to kind of shrink this guy a bit. Let me take it down. All right, here I go. Getting a little bit too fancy dancy right now. All right, I need to focus, right? All right. So now that I made sure that I had everything that I needed to have on the assignment, now I can go on to my poster. At this point, is just round one, guys. So this is kind of your first stab at how you want your poster to be. Remember that we need to look back at the downloaded file and make sure that we include everything, okay? The best way to do that is just copy and paste it into your document so you are not missing anything, okay? You can always move it around later. That would, you know, make sure that you do not miss anything. All right, so I went off and found a piece already. I kind of did some sketching and some thinking about kind of how I wanted to apply this to the poster. You can see that it's a art exhibit with the title, and then it's going to feature all of these artists, and that's the date, yada yada, all that needs to be in there. So while I was thinking of that, I was like, well, what would be something that's inspirational to use in the artwork itself? So I found a piece. I'm going to go ahead and place it in. And get it, hopefully. I'm going to add it to this one. And I'm going to change the size of it a bit. Oh, not that one. I don't want to change the position. I want to transform. Thank you. Let's make him about 25. Make sure that it's portion ratio. Let me get back to where I'm at. All right. Where is he? Made it almost too small. There we go. Oops. Thank goodness for Control Z, right? Thank goodness, that would be, oh, I need to get out of here. Okay, now I just want this one. Ungroup, I don't want you, I don't know how you got grouped. All right. So I thought it would be interesting to have this piece as kind of the center. Eventually I like to white it out. And I'm going to make sure that I send it to the back. Arrange, send it back. And I want to crop him. I need to slice her. Here to here. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. All right, Control and C. All right, let's bring this and send it back. All right, just to make it, oops, ding ding on at me. All right, so I'm gonna go in and use some of these, repeat some of these lines. Oops, I didn't get the blue one. bring these, of course, use your align tools. I'm going to make them all one color. What do you think? You should do the red? And color picker will go much faster. There we go. Let's make them all red. And just sort of principle to be able to save time, I'm going to kind of just show you a few pieces. Oops. So I want to take this title part out because of course I want to use that in a different font. That's the title, so it's pretty important. So we're going to want to use that as the most important, biggest piece. And the artists, I think I'm going to take them and move this text down here. Oh, I don't really like that too much. And this picture is just kind of a bit too big for me, so I think I would take this into Photoshop and cut it out, cut out the background, and then be able to put the lines through the background, kind of as this being my inspiration. And I would change this to black and white. And add in, let me make sure that I put my artist back in. Let's put him here. I think that works there. What do you guys think? And use, I think this would look nice in that other scripted font. No, you know what? I think I kind of like it more bold. What do you guys think? Of course, it is your choice, what you want to do with your design, guys. I don't think I want it larger than the title, so I'm gonna bump this guy up. And give it some other colors. Maybe I will separate this and put this in that other text that we were using, which is, I believe, this one. Maybe add this color, add a color to it. So it'll complement the text towards the bottom. I think the title of the exhibit is a little bit more important, so I'm going to shrink this guy down a little bit and make it parallel with using that alignment. I want the whole thing to get bigger. All right. So of course you want to try to keep your alignments, that left alignment there. I think that works. And let's do this text in that other font. So that date is really important, of course, right? I want to make sure that we are giving enough importance to all of, oopsie, all of the different pieces of this. So I think it would be, what am I in? Why is this doing that? Important to maybe align them along the text itself, those stripes, right? I think that would work. And font, what am I doing? I want to arrange it. I want to bring it to the front. So let's do that text there. And then I think I want to bring this text down. I'm going to put it on its own item. And let's make this one smaller. And maybe in that blue font or the yellow or whatever kind of, yellow wouldn't work well, right? Because why? It's not very easy to see. And we certainly don't want to make it hard for our Oh, I don't know, maybe it does work. Maybe if we added another line, but I think the blue would work better. So let's use the blue that we chose for our inspiration. And I'm not sure if that's going to be thick enough. So let's thicken that guy up a little bit. And I think it might be too small. So I'm going to do kind of a similar alignment that was done up at the top. Oops. I want to get my text tool and get in here and give this a space down. And then we can make it bigger, right? So we can fill up that space a little bit more. But I don't want to take away from the other information. So I'm going to keep it fairly small. And I want to make these guys bigger. So all right, I can sit here and make this absolutely perfect, but I don't want to have you sit here and watch me do this the whole time, because I think it's more important for you to be working and spending your time working on your own piece. But this gives you an idea of what to expect. And of course, we always want to, what guys, go back and read the directions again. Okay, make sure that we have everything that we need to have. Where is our, okay. So just to double check yourself, make sure you download the file. So we want to make sure that we did everything. It could be InDesign or Illustrator, your choice, guys. You know what, you can even do it in Photoshop. I'm totally fine with whatever application you choose to use it in, because all I want is your PDFs, okay? So we have our mood board, we have our designer's name on the mood board, yes, remember to do that. Our poster is the size, and then we want a single letter size document, Word document on the back. You know, it doesn't have to be a Word document. It can just be another file, another board. Where are my boards at? Get out of my way. Everything. Let me go back to where we were, because I want to make sure that you guys can see. Oh, now you can see all my desktop stuff. Back to Illustrator. All right. And from here, we're just going to create another artboard. And of course, you want it in APA format. APA format of your references. Okay. Obviously, I don't want you to just do that. I want you to actually put your references on that third page. Okay. Now, here we go. So we have our mood board, we have our poster board, and then we have our reference page. Those three documents, you're simply going to save your file, and then you're going to save it out as a multiple page PDF. Oh, it has a problem with my font. Oh, saying it might not be visible. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Illustrator. So we want to, we'll do a save as. PDF. And of course, you need to give it the name of the assignment. And coming through compression, nothing here, output, and save file. Okay. Always make sure that you guys are opening up your documents before you submit them and look at them. Because a lot of times, or maybe a lot, not maybe not a lot anymore. I remember in my time when I would get some documents, Adobe was much more finicky than it is now. And I would get things and I would download them and I would open them up and it would do all these crazy things to my files. And I was never happy with that. So you want to make sure that you open up your document, your PDF, and make sure that everything is there. Everything looks good. And everything's there, okay? That is it for your week 3 assessment. Or is this the assignment? Assignment, sorry. If you have any questions or you need some more clarification on anything, please reach out to me. I'm here for you guys. I want you to be successful, and I want you to do your best work. So if you need anything at all, contact me, okay? Best of luck on your assignment, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Have a great day designing. Bye.